Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, cool. I was just making sure you got the email. Okay. Okay. Cool. Bye bye. Okay, let me see. Let me see, because I can't hear you. Did you ask to join? Let's see.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
that's me. Okay, I had to do stuff on my
You
end.
had to do something on your end. It's like the host can add you to the
Yes.
stage at any time. I'm like, oh, hi.
Hey, how
I
are
am
you?
well. How are you?
I'm good. So I did a little note. I don't know if anyone to join us, but we're gonna just be here, and it'll be what it's gonna
Okay,
be.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
And then you get to post it
Listen,
wherever, right?
I can. So and I think you get to post it too. So it
Yay.
automatically records.
Cool.
And I put on there that you could. So I don't know what that looks like or whether you'll get a copy or what have you. Um, and here we are.
I'll go play with that.
Yeah, so we good to go now. Okay,
Yay.
so welcome. This is another collaborative conversation. This is something that I've been doing. And the whole thing, and I think what I just end up putting is real talk, real people, everybody has a story. So usually either we'll have this set questions that I have, or if
Hmm.
people have particular things like they want to promote, like some people with books or what have you, they we'll talk about that or what have you.
Okay.
So, but since you're here, we're gonna do our usual collaborative
Yay.
conversations questions. So, and you ready?
I'm so ready. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Okay, great. So the first question is, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so I am AnnMarie Bemberry. You know me. I live in Charlotte. I work for a bank doing tech, so like software engineering, but now I'm a product owner, which is a fancy way of saying I help coordinate technology projects from start to finish. Let's say that.
Okay.
um, yeah, trying to
Okay.
explain what I do. I feel like you very rarely find or hear of a job title that actually tells you anything about what people do. Like if you're not in
Like,
that industry, then you don't
yeah.
know. So like I could say I'm a
Uh-huh.
product owner, but unless you're a product owner,
You would know. Like, because I
anyway,
was just
I
like,
always think
okay,
that's
so
a
what is
funny thing.
exactly
Yeah, I always think
tech-wise?
that's
Because
a
I'm
funny
like, what
thing.
products?
No, right. How does that work? Why do you have a title just for owning? What does owning mean? It's a
Yeah,
whole thing.
exactly. Because I'm like, okay, so does that mean like your name is listed somewhere saying that you actually own a thing? Blah blah blah.
Do you make money off it? No. No. It's so funny. Like it's so funny. Like whenever we're and then you do like networking and stuff like that, and you're just like, oh, what do you do? Oh, what do you? And I always need an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my best friend is always like, she's like, I never know what to tell people that you do. But anyway.
Like, I work in IT. Or
Literally,
tech.
that's it. And then they assume that I'm like the IT person when something's broken that they call. And then I'm just
Uh-huh.
like, you know what? Let's just go with that. Somebody calls me when something goes wrong, right?
This is true. This is true.
Let's just go with that. But it's the world of tech is so big. And even before like I got in tech, I didn't realize how many different like jobs there were in tech. So I kind of stumbled
Mhm.
into tech. I have a degree in English, so I started somewhere totally different. I went to high school for fashion design.
Okay, so how do they all come together, what you say and what you do now?
Do they? I don't know. I don't know that they do like come together. I think I finally figured out what direction I want to take my tech career in, which is kind
Okay.
of like since I stumbled into it, it's like everything is happening in like slow motion. Like I'm just at first I was just riding the wave, just happy to be here. And now I
Hmm.
think I'm finally getting to the point that I've got enough experience. I've moved far enough in my own career journey. And now I'm starting to think, okay, well, what are the other roles and like what are the other spaces and what could I do? And
Hmm.
so I think I'm starting to find myself exploring opportunities that kind of mesh all of the things, which
Okay,
is
nice.
interesting. Yeah, which is the English degree. The literature doesn't serve me so much,
Uh-huh.
but I took this one class in college. It was an elective. It was called technical writing, and that thing has been whole. I use that every day. Every time I write an email, I use my technical writing class. It's the only thing that really, really still serves me in my day to day. It's so funny.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. And welcome, welcome. I think we got some people
Thank
who have
you.
joined.
Yay, nice.
Yeah, I can't really tell because this is a different platform. So um, I think the comments are on. So if people want to check in and do comments or what have you, that is, I think, available. But okay, just as quick as they came, they left. Amen. But it's okay because it'll still be here.
It'll
So
still be here.
it'll still be here. So like, because how often do we in the middle of the night need something to watch and like, oh, this might be cool. So um, but yeah, so that's really interesting. So the next question is, if you were a book, what would the title of the book be and why?
If I were a book, if I were a book, the title might be, I don't know, these days, I don't know, might be something like, I don't know, what would I title my book? A Journey in Mayhem. That's what I would call it. A Journey in Mayhem. A Journey in Mayhem.
And so why would
Because
why would
I think
yeah.
that so often and we're taught this, right? That like your life is going to go a certain way. And I think we all have this very like structured
Okay, so I
way
missed some
that
of that
we're
because it was loading for a second. So you said because,
okay.
and then it just like loaded for a minute, so I didn't get it. So what were
Mm.
you
Okay.
saying?
But I feel like we all have this kind of like image or like path in our head of how we think that life is supposed to work. And we're taught this when we're young,
Uh-huh.
but I don't think it's really realistic.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
definitely a journey, like where I start in God, thank
Mm-hmm.
God, is never where I finish, right? And so it's definitely been a journey of ups and downs and all around and mayhem just because you really never know what's coming. Like things are so wildly unpredictable, not in a
Mm-hmm.
good way or a bad way or anything,
But just yeah.
but just that is life. So yes, a journey in mayhem. I like it.
I
I
like
don't
it
know if anybody would read it, but I like it.
too. Well, I think that they would be able to relate because there is the whole thing of you sometimes don't even know. Like you could be sitting there and life can be going a particular way, and then there's all this new thing that shows up, or um, a new job opportunity, or you may not have the job that you once had. Like it's just like you just never know because depending on
Yeah.
other things at various times, everything may change.
But what you gonna do? You got to take the ride.
You got to take the well, it's suggested that you take the ride.
I think, I mean, keep your hands and feet inside, follow the rules and all of that. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, and I don't know if I would be so follow the rules because sometimes
Baby, that's the mayhem part for me because, yeah, I follow rules when I feel like it. Lately, I'm following less and less rules. Like as I get further and further along my journey, I'm making up my own rules, which is liberating. It's really
uh-huh,
fun and different. And I think, I followed the path, or I tried to follow the path that I thought I was, like supposed to
supposed
take.
the
And
yeah, the
the
infamous
right,
path to the
exactly. Supposed to exactly.
yeah.
And yeah, these days I realize the journey is mine. It's much more mine than I realized that it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that it's cool when you make a decision to not necessarily follow
Yes.
because we
Yep.
all are so different and unique that literally following the rules that are supposed to be the standard for everybody. Like, how in the hell can everybody fit in that rule box with all of the various cultures, with all the various backgrounds, with all the just it's so many different things that yes, we are the same, but yes, we are vastly different. So
Yes.
this particular like step one, step two, step three, I'm sure there's so many people that don't fit into that
It's
or
just
fit,
not one size fits all.
yeah, are not going to fit because like that was
Mm-mm.
somebody else's, it wasn't yours. Like, and I think maybe the whole idea, like you say, is like you get to create your own as you're doing the journey.
Yeah. But you learn that along the journey. You don't learn that at the beginning.
Oh my
And
gosh,
so I
right.
think I think you earn the right in the lesson. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
earn the right to make your own rules once you go through whatever journey it takes to learn the lesson that you have the power.
right. And that
Cuz
you won't.
before that you're not ready. Before that you're not equipped to make your own decisions. Before that you don't know, for real, for real. And you might decide to follow something else. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And mm-mm. You earn the right to make whatever choices you want by doing all that it takes to learn the lesson that you are in control. That's how I feel.
Ooh, that's good.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think that will be helpful.
Because a
You
lot a lot of a lot of the stuff I'm doing now I wasn't equipped to do before.
So, what do you think allowed you to be more equipped in this moment? Like, if you have to, like, okay, so you've been on this journey, and what would you say would be like maybe the top two or three things that put you in the space to feel more equipped to, kind of make your own rules and follow them, or just be okay in adjusting as needed, or whatever the thing is.
You know what? I think it really has been all different kinds of burnout.
Mm-hmm.
All different kinds of burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I run into the same wall hard enough
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over, and then I just get tired of running into that same wall, I just decide I don't like that wall and I'm not gonna do it anymore. I don't like that wall because my head hurts and I'm tired of playing this game and I want to play a new one.
Uh-huh.
And so I think it's it's really in kind of reaching spaces where I can't function the way that I have been, or the way that I should have been, the way that I thought I should have been, the way I've always known to, right? Like
Right.
when I get into moments where those things stop working for me to the point that I'm not okay anymore,
Right.
it always gets to a point where I'm like, if it's this thing or me, I have to choose me. And that
Mm-hmm.
is where I've gotten kind of the the courage and the audacity to kind of choose differently. And then
Mm-hmm.
you do that enough times and then you realize, well, you know what? I don't got to hit this wall to change the rule.
I just can change the rule. How about it?
I can just change the rule because I know what the wall looks like now. I know what all the walls look like and
Uh-huh.
I don't want to do that anymore. So then you start creating paths around the walls and then
Mm-hmm.
the walls stop existing after a while, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like you hit enough of them, yeah, you figure out how to not hit them anymore.
Okay, cool. I mean, and that makes perfect sense because I think when people try to go through the wall, like you said, like just like I'm going to just keep hitting it because it's the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. So, although it's very uncomfortable, we've also been taught to do all of the stuff that's so uncomfortable anyway. You know, like, oh, you got to,
Correct.
like, what they say, no pain, no gain.
Correct.
You know, like all of that kind of stuff. It's hard to unprogram that to be a thing like, oh no, I don't necessarily have to do it this way. Things can be done, but it's like, let's see if I can find a way that works better for me. You know, let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's like some of that stuff used to just make me cringe a little bit. After a while, once I start like, this don't feel good. Like all of this other stuff that we're raised to be and how we are supposed to not really question, do all of the things. Once again, I remember, I will never forget a friend that used to like, oh, I need my friends to give till it hurts. I was like, that should not even be in a sentence. But it was a thing because that's what she was raised. Like you just give, 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 like until like we're always supposed to sacrifice self for others, kind of thing.
girl, don't you start. Don't start. We'll be on here. We will be on here all night with that one because it's a real thing. It's a real
Hmm.
thing. Like we are taught. Many of us are taught to give. Many of us are, you know what I mean, and we don't
Right.
learn until it hurts to give. Until we've given so much that we don't have anything left, and then yeah, and it's so that I mean that was one of my walls, right? That was one of the walls I hit. I had to learn a lot around boundaries and protecting my
Hmm.
energy and protecting my emotions and
Hmm.
protecting, just a million things that I wasn't taught when we were younger. And I don't I'm not sure why we're not taught when we're younger. And I think that's part of the thing that I'm in this space now where I'm just like, why is it so hard? Why have things been so hard for me in certain ways?
Hmm.
And what can I do to make it less hard for the
Hmm.
next like littles, like coming
Right.
up now to like not make the same to not fall into the same traps. Because that's what
Right.
they are, is traps.
Yeah, and it kind of keeps you in that cycle. We do have a comment. Hey, Xavier Black, whom I know. Thank you for showing up. And he said we definitely need to unlearn that, which is like, yeah, but it's like I think the cycles have been through so many generations that it's really challenging when you kind of buck the system a little bit with, no, we don't have to. No, I don't feel like it. It doesn't feel comfortable for me to do this.
Correct. And I
So,
think I think now it's interesting because I don't I don't think that everything is meant to be comfortable. And so then we start having
yeah.
like the questions around, right? Like, well,
Mhm.
how much can we say no to, or how much do, or where are the lines, right? And some of
Right.
that, and so that goes back to what I was saying earlier, where it's like you earn the right to make your own rules once you've gone through all the things to get the lesson. Because until you go through all the things to get the lesson,
Yeah.
you
You'll.
would just create chaos, right? It's like giving a child a magic wand and boop, boop,
I
boop, bippity
don't know if I like that.
boppity.
Let's.
You about to do all the wrong stuff and we don't even know when you gonna find out that it's wrong.
Right.
So it's like, like I think there is a certain level of like maturity and like wisdom and like
Mm-hmm.
discipline that you should have before you start kind of figuring out your own whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just so that you got like guardrails, like
Mm-hmm.
just
And
so that you have guardrails.
I think you saying the maturity part, because what I've noticed is like this shift in generations. I of course am not necessarily in your generation, but I
Mhm.
think the one under you kind of has more demands without the experience for, like you said, that create the
Yeah.
maturity level to request some of the demands, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It
You know,
does.
I
And
may
it
be
mean they going
off,
it
but
mean they
it,
gonna ask for stupid stuff. That's what it mean. You know what I mean? Like it's like And so that's what I mean. Like I think to a certain extent it can be like misguided if you haven't gone through all the stuff. And it's so funny. Like I find myself now at this stage in my life where I'm starting to recognize that all of these like age old like adages, like things that people say, things that you find in books and
Hmm.
on all the tote bags and foolishness, like, but they're actually true. And it's so cliche. And I'm just like, dang, why? But why did I have to do all of this to get here? To understand those things that y'all been spewing at me since forever. And it's just I
Like,
think it's just literally like life will teach you the things. It's not the kind of thing you can take from a tote bag. It's not the kind of thing you know what I mean? Like I really do
right.
think a lot of it is
Because you were like, it sounds good.
your lived experience really will teach you so much more than any warning you get,
Mm.
any yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. You got to go through the stuff.
So would you say? So would you say too? Then, like, I had a thought. It escaped me. Hopefully, it will return.
I
But
hope
I
it'll come
was
back.
thinking about like just yeah, because I think like just the whole moving beyond and having the bumps on the head and
Mhm.
bumping into the
Mhm.
walls. And I
Mhm.
think the thing that came to mind for me is, you know, most people would consider it stubborn, and trying to make things work because they were supposed to before then finding out that it didn't, you know,
Yes.
it's just there.
Yes. And I think the thing with that is, and I know it's been a thing for me, like I will be so stubborn about the thing has to work, the thing has to work, the thing has to work. And it's because if the thing doesn't work, then I have to reimagine my whole frame of reference for what does work. And so
Hmm.
I think a lot of times people are not willing to give up what they know and be in a space where they don't know.
Yeah.
Cause then what?
Mm.
Cause then what?
You said a whole word right there.
So sometimes it's not that the thing is good or is the best but it's what we know. And familiarity
Right.
really is important. It really, really is important. And I think, there's so many ways that we imagine the world, right? That we see
Hmm.
the world and that we see ourselves within the world, right?
Hmm.
And so
Right.
once you start dismantling that, now if you're going to start invalidating the things that I've always known to be true,
Yeah.
then now I have to question so many other things that I
Right.
never had to question before. Now you're stressing me out, right? Because where do we
Right.
go? Because where do we go from here? So I
Right.
think there's, when we talk about that stubbornness, it's just like, how well do you know what you know? And I think a lot of
Hmm.
us are just not willing to challenge our understanding of our own realities.
Ooh, love it.
To a
So,
certain extent, why should we be? But
I
but
mean,
then again, how
yeah,
did we get there? How real is it
yeah,
really?
yeah. And I think especially for the generation ahead of mine, like they didn't do the question asking.
Yeah.
They did kind of just more fall in line. It was more, as they got drunk off the sauce of whatever the thing was, and they didn't question. Yet we're supposed to question. So like that was always a thing. It's like, okay, I'm supposed to just take you because you say it, but you also want me to be inquisitive in this other realm. So like, I think the confusion, more people start questioning, like, I just can't take this at face value. I'm not gonna make me feel less than because I asked a question,
Yep.
or wrong
Yep.
because I did, or my favorite term, disrespectful, um, for all of the inquisitive, things that I was
Yes.
like everything was just balled into
Yes.
into being
Yes. And you
disrespectful.
want to you want to know something? So I don't have any children of my own. I have nieces and godchildren and nephews
Hmm.
and all of that. But I don't have any children of my own. But what I find in watching other people have kids and watching other people raise kids, kids are a lot. Kids are a lot.
Hmm.
Kids are a lot, and babies have so much more energy than we do, and they have so many more questions than we do. and they're so much more inquisitive because they haven't been socialized out of that like urge to question
Right.
everything, and they want
Mm-hmm.
to play and they want to do all the things, and it's exhausting. Have you ever tried talking to a kid?
Yes.
It's a lot. And so I find myself sometimes like, sometimes they just ask so many questions. We didn't ask the questions, and so we don't got answers. And so we don't want shh, just shh.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes because I said so is just easy and it's
Mm-hmm.
accessible and it's, you know what I mean? And it's just
Right.
so I think I empathize with, like parents who kind of
Mm.
just
You could use that one.
just you know what I mean, like I think now there's all this like gentle parenting, and
Mm-hmm.
you want to listen to the kids and you want them to feel empowered in all of the ways we
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel when we were kids because we were told, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but but it's a big ask of
Anybody.
someone, you know what I mean, of anybody. It's a big thing. It is a big thing to have the patience and to also challenge our own
Mm-hmm.
understandings of the way things are, which if you listen to a child, if you let, you know what I mean, between the
Right.
imagination and the curiosity, they're going to challenge you. Every
On
word, every sentence out of their mouth is going to be something that challenges you to consider what
something
you
new.
thought you knew. And
Mm-hmm.
that, I can't imagine
Mm-hmm.
being, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it just, side note, we need to appreciate our teachers and we need to pay them because they're doing this all day long. Okay. And I know all the parents are very happy about their kids going back to school right now.
Mm-hmm.
Send your
We can
teacher
say
a
get
thank
them
you
some money.
basket or something. Okay. Take care of them people because
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
it's the Lord's work. You hear me? It is the Lord's work. So I think that's a thing too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I look at my mom and how she interacts with like my nieces, and like she don't always have it to like meet them where they are,
Right.
and they can't see where she is. They don't know. They don't get
Yeah.
it. But like
Right.
she does not have it to meet them where they are, and I
Uh,
have it because I'm auntie, because I don't live there.
right.
But baby, it's different when, that's your full-time job. So listen, I
Yeah.
always say parents wear invisible capes, and I got a lot of respect for
Mm-hmm.
the people who look after babies because it's a
It's
big thing. It's a
mm-hmm.
big thing.
Right. So, what are some of the qualities that you find important in your friendships and or relationships?
So I can be laid back in a million different ways. One way that I am not laid back is in the quality of my relationships, the quality of
Mm-hmm.
my interactions with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm the girl who wants to talk about all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the girl who wants to know my friends really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have a hard time not having full access to people. So like I really value communication. I really value like non-judgmental, like safe spaces to talk about all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Um I value conversation, not like surface stuff, but like
Yeah.
real, like real conversations. And the
Mm-hmm.
older I get, the more important they are. The more important it is that I'm getting to have those conversations with my friends,
Yeah.
and in my relationships, and like true vulnerability, like true
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think in order for there to be a safe space, we both got to have skin in the game, you know? We both got to have skin in the game because
I say
and
if you
that's
ain't
a
got no
red
skin in
flag
the
for
game,
me.
right?
That's a red flag for me. Like if I'm pouring out my heart and having all these deep talks about stuff that's going on in my life and you not doing that with me,
Mm-hmm.
what you got going on? Like, what you got going on? How do I know that you're a safe space if you're not being vulnerable? If we both not
Right.
being vulnerable, then how do I
That's
know that it's safe for me to be vulnerable? You know what I
right.
mean? So I take my
Mm-hmm.
I take my cues from, like it's got to be mutual.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely respect is like paramount, and really just genuinely wanting the best for the other person If that's
Mhm.
not there, it's never going to work, you know? But
Right.
those are the qualities I think for me is like mutual respect, non-judgment, safe spaces,
Mhm.
and vulnerability, like the willingness to have uncomfortable conversations, whether they're, you know, things that only pertain to one of us or whether
Mhm.
they're things about our friendship. Like
Right.
if we can't protect the friendship, why are we investing any time or energy into it anyway? You
Right.
know, if we're not willing to protect it, you know, and
Mhm.
sometimes that means having an uncomfortable conversation. So, and being
Mhm.
honest, you know, obviously honesty is in there, but yeah.
It's making me think. I have a couple of people where I know that I can be that way with, but as I think about it, it did take me a minute to kind of halfway get there for some, and I
Yeah.
am very, what would I say, guarded around newish, there's sometimes
Baby.
not that I'm
Hashtag
not
no new
able to,
friends,
but
because
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
a
so,
thing.
mhm, yeah,
And I
so,
always say I only keep the best ones. Like I only keep the best ones.
yeah,
And I
some
think
don't make it.
like yes, like my tribe means so much to me. It's so important to me to just have people that I can rely on, people that I trust
Mhm,
to, you know, celebrate with me and mourn
mhm,
with me. You know what I mean? And be there when I'm like not all the way okay and vice
right,
versa, right? That I can share all of
mhm,
the spaces with. It's just important to me to have companionship in my life. That's always been one of the most important things to me. So literally, if I meet people and the interaction just kind of doesn't evolve into that, I usually just throw them people back. And it's okay. I've learned to do that. That is one of the things that I have learned to allow myself to do, to release people in love
right,
if there's no space for them here.
right,
You know what I mean? And that has
right,
been a part of like building my boundaries and like learning the things that I value and the things that are important to me and the things I really can't tolerate. And so or just don't have like energy for. I don't have energy to waste on people,
mhm,
keeping people close to me who don't serve a bigger purpose in my life. You know what I
mhm,
mean? And you
yeah,
don't have to keep everybody you meet. I had to learn that the hard way.
yeah,
You don't have to keep everybody. And
mhm,
that was something I didn't know. I learned that you don't have to keep everybody. And I was like, "Oh, if
right,
they didn't do anything wrong, somebody doesn't have to hurt you or do anything crazy for you to release them
make
in
a choice,
love.
yeah,
Like you can make exactly, you can make a different choice." And it's like
mhm,
just recognizing that that was a choice was a big game changer for me. And so it's
mhm,
different now. Like yeah, I'm proud of all my friendships, you know?
right,
And it takes a lot more before I call somebody a friend, you know?
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you think of someone or something that over a short period of time has influenced or impacted you in a major way?
Oh shoot, I'm about to get soft.
It's okay. It's
I'm
permissible.
about to get soft in front of the people. Okay. So, I am currently in a space where I have met someone who has been kind of a game changer for me. So, um I used to want a relationship so bad.
Hmm.
And you know this story. I used to want a relationship so bad. Um so deeply like in my core that I didn't even realize when I was pressuring somebody who I was just dating, right? To like
Hmm.
and later, years later we would talk about it and they're like I could feel that pressure. And I'm like, "What pressure? I didn't even want you that bad." It's like but I wanted this thing. I wanted this
Yeah.
companionship. I wanted this person. I wanted this relationship. And eventually I had to do a lot of work on myself to kind of just work myself out of that kind of obsession, right?
Hmm.
Not obsession, but just like I had to do some soul searching
Hmm.
and get to a point where what I had was enough. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Whatever I
Yeah.
had in my life was enough that I was
Hmm.
grateful, not just, you know, grateful, like, oh, this is great, but I want this other thing. Like, no, like truly, truly grateful
Right.
enough that it
Yeah.
was enough, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
Um, and that was a journey in itself. And I don't want to say I gave up on the idea of having a relationship, but I stopped expecting that it was I stopped taking for granted that it was going
Mm-hmm.
to happen for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so more recently, I'm in a space for the first time in a really long time where
Mm-hmm.
there's a man,
Ooh.
and that's been nice, and it's been kind of a game changer in a lot of different ways. um and I always say, like, it's been a long time since I've been somebody's girl, and I don't really know. I'm not the same girl I was the last
Mm-hmm.
time I was somebody's girl. You know,
Right. Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
totally different version of myself, and I don't know what a relationship looks like for this
Mm-hmm.
version of me,
Mm-hmm.
at this stage in my life, and what does that mean? And so it's just been exciting and eye opening and nerve
Mm-hmm.
wracking and all of the things to kind of be in this space, but
Mm-hmm.
also to get to explore that, right? Like,
Right.
what does this look like for the person I am now?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's definitely not like any relationship I've had before, because I'm not
The person you.
anything like the girl that I used to be. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it's a whole different ballgame now.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so that's been fun. That's been a game changer lately.
Nice. Yay.
Yay. Yay.
So, what would you tell your younger self um, about how to best prepare for the future with all the things that you know in this moment? What would be the adage, the bumper sticker, the tote bag that you
What
would
would be the
say?
tote bag? um I think I would tell her to practice taking care of herself,
Hmm.
like to actually practice taking care of herself. Um, let me see, what would be the bumper sticker? What would be the tote bag? It would be put yourself on your to-do list.
Nice.
Put yourself on your to-do list, because
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so much that we do in a
Mm-hmm.
day, in a week, in an hour. And how much of those things really are for us, belong to us,
Mm-hmm.
nurture us, right? Um, I think so many of us derive too much of our self esteem and self
Mm-hmm.
worth and
Mm-hmm.
our opinions of ourselves
Mm-hmm.
from what we're able to do, what we're able to do,
Mm-hmm.
and ways that we're able to show up in the world, in other people's lives, at
Mm-hmm.
work, in our families, in our relationships, for our
Mm-hmm.
kids, for our, parents. Like, I think there's so much self-worth that we take from being able to look at what we've done
Mm-hmm.
and who we've supported. Um, and I think we don't give enough credit. We're not taught, like I said, to give enough
Mm-hmm.
credit to how well we take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think there's so many of the major shifts in my life, the things, moments and seasons that I'm most proud of,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that have been the biggest, like, propellants of me into kind of whatever came next. So many of those came from me just taking care of myself.
Right.
Like, looking inward and figuring out what are the things that I need to get to
Mm-hmm.
the next stage,
Mm-hmm.
and selfish is, that word, that
You know I
term
love.
has such a negative connotation.
I
I
love it.
I know, but it's
I'm not
important.
popular. Yeah.
But I get it, you know what I mean? But I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, it's important to be selfish enough
Mm-hmm.
to take care of yourself. And what I've learned throughout my journey is that there's so many different faces that self-care
Mm-hmm.
wears that we don't talk about, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
self-care isn't just like drinking your water and like eating your fruits and veggies. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
that's one element, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
hygiene is another element, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Style is another element. There's, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Boundaries are another thing, being
Mm-hmm.
able to nurture. your emotional well-being by maintaining good relationships. Like all of these things are different versions of self-care,
Uh-huh.
and I think, it's so much deeper and it's so much bigger than we really talk about. So yeah, in a nutshell, it would be put yourself on your to-do list, because you got a
Hmm.
lot of things that you think are priorities, and the one that you're overlooking every time is you.
Right.
And even if and I think that's a good starting point for
Hmm.
people who are still in the space where they want to be powerful in other people's lives. They want, want to show up big for other
Hmm.
people and for other things, work, blah, 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 whatever. I think about it like this. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to
Hmm.
take care of all the stuff that's on your list?
Mm.
If you're not okay, you can't. If you're not okay, you
You ain't
can't
gonna
even
touch that
show up
list.
for the people that you want to show up for. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's just like start there. I think that's a good
Yeah.
starting point. But it's just like the more that I have looked inward and learned to take better care of myself, the more amazing things have come to me. I haven't had to
Hmm.
go looking for them. They've come to me. And I
Hmm.
think there's something to be said about that.
I think that is the magic sauce. When you do take care of yourself and you are making sure that all of your personal I's are dotted and your personal T's are crossed, that your awareness, your enthusiasm to do the things, I think everything takes less time when you're good because you're
Yes, it's so
clear.
much easier because you're clear.
Because you're clear.
Exactly. There's so much clutter. There's so
Hmm.
much. There's emotional clutter. There's mental clutter. There's stress. There's a million different things that we're doing all of the time. I've noticed that when I am honed in on just
Hmm.
me and what I
Hmm.
got going on, and what I need, and just taking full care in all of the ways of myself, of my body, I just feel different. I
Hmm.
feel different. I move differently through the world. Things just get so much easier.
Right.
Even the hard stuff is like not.
You just be like, oh, okay.
Like I just float right on through it sometimes,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, and it really is magical. Like it really is, like it really is
Uh-huh.
magical. But it's really hard. And even what I have found on, like, even like my personal development journey, like since getting in therapy and kind of going, just kind of going on
Mhm.
that whole journey of really understanding all of these things about myself, I have learned that, yeah, it's not linear. You know how they say
Mhm.
progress is not linear?
Mhm.
Like self development or self awareness isn't linear either.
Right.
And so there are seasons that I've done really, really well. And then sometimes I take a dip, and I gotta learn some new lessons before I level out and get back.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then
Right.
but every point is it's not like regression. It's a
Exactly.
different space, right? It's a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
space than I was last time, even if it feels familiar in some
Similar.
ways, but
Yeah.
it's not, right? It's
Mhm.
not, because over that time I've picked
Mhm.
up new tools, I've learned new things, you know what I mean? Had different
Right.
experiences. And so it really isn't, I don't get to be at 100% today. 100% changes every day.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
literally change and evolve and grow throughout the whole
Mhm.
process. And so, but if you're doing it right, every day you're a slightly different version than you were yesterday.
Amen.
If you're doing it right.
Like that is the ultimate goal.
Okay.
Even if it's just a
Correct.
little smidget, like even if it's just that one little thought that shifts or changes or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like lately, like I find myself the last couple of weeks, I've been a little off. I've been a little off, but it's like I get to have the perspective, which is new, which is I have a happy life. I'm a happy girl. Like I'm allowed. I owe a few bad days. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's okay. Like it'll do. Every
And
day can't be great. Every day can't be 100%. Like
and they pass. I think people get so caught up in the moments without realizing, guess what? All the rest of them pass, and this one will pass too. They all freaking pass.
they all pass. And so it's not about I think the goal, like for me, like I always talk about my goal, like my target, like what I think of as success. Like I just want to be happy. Like I want to be
Mm-hmm.
happy. I want to be able to take care of myself and not have to worry. But like I just want to be
Mm-hmm.
happy. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like literally that is a moving target. It's a constantly moving target, right?
Uh-huh.
Happiness or
Uh-huh.
self care. Being
Yeah.
whole. Like all of these concepts, like literally the target is moving every day, and so it keeps you busy. It's not like a destination.
Yeah, it is.
It's always going to be a journey. It's always, and that's what I'm learning now. It's like it don't stop.
Yeah.
You don't get to a point where you're just like, okay, I'm good, and then the rest
Mm-hmm.
of your life just like, no, like I met the man and I'm really excited about him, and it's not happily ever after. Like now we live the life and it's a whole new
Like that
chapter.
is a
Like it's
check, and then there's all the other things that go with this new check.
like you keep living. You know what I mean? Like you keep living. You have to keep
Yeah.
living. And as long as you're living, every day is a little bit different. You know what I mean? And the
Mm-hmm.
target keeps moving. So that's what I'm learning. Like at this stage, it's just like it don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a finish line. You keep
Yeah.
moving. And I think for me it's like learning stamina and practicing, like
Mm-hmm.
practicing stamina, like emotional stamina and like all of these things, which sounds silly, but it's like I'm running a race with no finish line. You know what I mean?
Right.
How about we just try to enjoy the run?
Right. And if you
How
need to
about we
take a
just try to
break every
enjoy the
so often,
run?
rub your muscles, you do that too.
I mean, yeah. Right now I'm giving myself a massage right now. Okay, that's where I'm at these couple weeks. I'm I'm on a recovery run. I'm taking a break. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, like that's the thing. And it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Right.
self-care looks like taking a little time to just kick
Mm-hmm.
back and coast a little bit, you know? And it's just like, but we're taught to
That, yeah, the insanity of that.
yeah, I don't want to, that's a wall I'm not finna hit no more. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap out on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, that particular wall I'd like to avoid. I'd like to not hit that one anymore.
Okay, so what do you think people would be surprised to know about you?
Um, what would people be surprised to know about me? I don't know. I'm only thinking about people who know me well.
Hmm.
That's not gonna work.
It's like they know everything. But like, say
That's not
someone's
gonna work.
meeting you, or you're working in this work environment, or whatever. Somebody new. What do you think that they would be surprised to know about you?
I can be pretty competitive.
You.
I can be pretty competitive.
Uh huh.
I think I'm very like compartmentalist.
Hmm.
So I'm like big on like keeping people like in the space that I've like met them, or in the way that they know me, because there's so many like facets. So I would be I would be nervous for someone, for example, at like work to
Hmm.
see me like play volleyball.
Oh, because it'd be on.
Oh baby, I'm a different girl. I'm a different girl on the court.
Yeah.
I'm a different girl on the court. It's a different energy. Um it's always interesting when people who know me well hear me like take a conference call at work. Like,
Hmm.
okay, boss lady, like, all right, like it's different. So I
Yeah.
think, depending on how you know me, like
Yeah.
I think there's only a very small, like select few people who've seen me in
In
all of
all of
the
the different.
yeah,
Mhm.
like who've
Yeah.
seen me in all the different arenas. We talk about code switching and all of that, but I just wear different faces in different arenas, and
Yeah.
I think people will be surprised to see me. I think that's probably the most shocking for people who know me, see me in other spaces, to see me on the court. Yeah, I'm a different girl.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I need that version of me. She does
Right.
other things. She's there, but
Yeah.
but she's maybe less aggressive in other arenas. she's she's maybe less aggressive.
Uh-huh.
And other, maybe less of a bully, maybe, yeah. It's all in good. I'm
This
always
is good.
coming from a good place, but
Yeah,
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 yeah, I be
yeah.
telling people off on the court.
I'm not surprised. So, what would you say motivates or inspires you?
um lately lately I've been very interested in finding ways to usher in the next generation and kind of give them tools that like I wasn't given.
Mm-hmm.
um I think, and and creating safe spaces like this
Mm-hmm.
for us to have these conversations, because I think I'm just, it's like a conversational ministry kind of thing. Like I feel like conversation is so powerful.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a whole world. Every person is their own entire universe if you just sit and get to
Yes.
know them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Right.
not just us, that doesn't come with
Right.
experience. Like the babies are
Yeah.
entire little tiny universes of their own. And
Right.
I think I would love to see us like foster just safe spaces to
Mm-hmm.
have all of the conversations,
Mm-hmm.
to foster communication across generations,
Yeah.
to, I mean, and I just believe that everybody has the right and the power, and deserves to be well equipped for the life that they get to live.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Right.
privilege to live this life, but it comes with bumps and traumas and all kinds of stuff. And I just feel, really strongly that it's powerful when you give someone the tools to be able to live their best life, literally live their best life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that excites me. And like, you know, my niece is getting old enough to like have certain conversations, and
Uh-huh.
um or just like being interested in stuff that I can finally help with, and that's
Mm-hmm.
really exciting. It's just really exciting. So I'd love to figure out like ways to do that,
Mm-hmm.
just for us all to have safe spaces, to have conversations, to know
Mm-hmm.
that we're not alone,
Mm-hmm.
and then to be able to hopefully give the next generation like some tips and tricks to kind of help them get some of the stuff
Right.
without having to fall on their faces for it like we did.
And the safety that when they do, it's not shunned, it's not ridiculed so heavily or any of that kind of stuff, because I think we all do. And then especially for those that do challenge the all of the stuff,
Yeah.
so that it's okay when you do that, because there still is a lesson for that,
There's a
but
lesson for that.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. And it's like I said, everybody's a universe unto themselves, and anybody who's got more than one kid can tell you that, right? Cuz like,
Hmm.
man, my nieces are night and day. I've got
Hmm.
another friend, she's got boys the same age as my sister's girls. Night and
Night and
day,
day.
the babies are different, and the
Yeah.
tactics that you use for that first one don't work on that baby.
Yeah.
They don't work. And it's just like, you got coworkers who,
Mhm.
operate
Yeah.
differently. You got cousins you can't talk to the same. You got siblings you treat differently. You know what I mean? You talk to your mom
Right.
differently than you talk to your dad. People are different. So, I
Hmm.
just think, yes, like everything isn't going to work for everybody, but the goal is that we all get where we need to go, and that we
Right.
have safe spaces to do that and commune and, have the conversation. They gonna come around.
Yes, maybe. You don't know. I
I
think that,
came
listen, so, but I also think that what coming around may end up still looking different. Like they get to come around, and I guess, yes, everyone comes around. And I think my whole thing is like wherever they come around to, we get to embrace what that looks like for them if it's off the path of what we thought. I remember
Yeah.
having this natural expectation, even though it was unsaid, about, how things were going to look for my daughter and, all this other stuff. I never tell her, but I thought it was like an unspoken rule because then nobody tell me, and that's what I did. But she
Yeah.
didn't have the same parent that I had, you know. So I
Yeah.
was having this expectation that she would just know, but I never really had the conversation. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, she wouldn't, I guess, know
How would
because
she know?
I didn't really tell her, you know.
How would she know?
I, I felt like I knew, but you know, our circumstances, situations, everything else was different. Like,
Yeah.
because I didn't have certain conversations to make me make
Yeah.
certain choices.
Yeah.
I just thought that they were the thing. But you know, the other generation, they like question like everything, and you don't fall in line, and
Everything.
you know, which is fine too. You know, so it's just like interesting to just be like, oh, okay, so we get to do however this ends up looking, and that gets to be okay too. You
Yeah.
know.
But I find that, we're better equipped to make those kinds of concessions for
Mm-hmm.
other people in our lives when we have that
For
ability
ourselves.
to let go in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of times, want I want like a judgment free zone, and I want,
Mm-hmm.
understanding, and I want compassion, but like everybody is not equipped to give that to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not equipped to like do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody hasn't given up on the stuff.
Right.
You know what I
Like
mean? Like everybody hasn't
I.
everybody's not as open to straying from like our social
Mm-hmm.
norms, right? So, and the book that I feel like we've been edging around all night is The Four Agreements, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk
Yeah.
about
I was about to mention it earlier because I was like, yeah, you know.
we've been dancing around it all night, but this whole concept that like there are agreements constantly around us, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
by the time we, know our names, there have been a million decisions. There have been,
Mm-hmm.
there's a
Right.
whole understanding of the world that we didn't actually choose for ourselves.
Right.
And at what point do we recognize that it wasn't ours, and
Mm-hmm.
make a choice to reassess,
Right.
right? And I think
Yeah.
that's hard for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people don't actually come to that space,
Mm-hmm.
or we
Mm-hmm.
don't realize that we can, like, it's not.
Yeah.
And so I know that was a wall I had, and I was, what you mean? Because of all the things I had to give up, all the things I had to let go of, and
Yeah.
then what do I fill all that empty space with? How do I move now? What do I do
Right.
now? How do I
Mm-hmm.
interact now? And so until others are willing to, we have to be able to meet people where they are and
Right.
recognize that not everybody has released the same agreements that we have. And so when we talk about loving unconditionally, when we talk about meeting people where they are, when we talk,
Yeah.
like all of these things, like it becomes
Mm.
real intense when we start making different decisions about how we gonna move,
Yeah.
because then we're moving on a whole different plane now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is
Where
wherever
you know
they're
where they're
at.
choosing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then for people who don't recognize it as a choice, then we have to be patient, and like I'm
Mm-hmm.
practicing patience in some of my relationships now, because it's like, but
Mm-hmm.
we all make our own choices, and so,
Right.
but that's life.
It is. It is. Is there anything that you feel that people sometimes misunderstand about you?
um I think people think that I can be cold.
Mm-hmm.
um my sister has called me cold before, and I think it's crazy, but I also recognize that, like, there's there's a certain part of me that has to detach from. I'm super sensitive. So there's a certain
Mm-hmm.
part of me that has to detach from all of that in order to be decisive, in order to make decisions, in order to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um and over the years I've become much more detached, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. But cold, no. I think a lot of times, even when I'm real stubborn about stuff, even when it seems
Mm-hmm.
like I'm being harsh, it's really coming from a place of wanting to protect something,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
whether it's myself or others, or
Mm-hmm.
a safe space, or a, um establish boundaries and just like protect them. Like it's important to me. And I think it's because usually there's some, well, getting to the root of the matter, usually there's something down there that, I'm creating this system of defense around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not cold. I feel everything
So I'm very much in tune with all of the things.
with all of the things. With all of the
and I,
things.
and I think though sometimes when you do or have the ability to compartmentalize so that you can be clear, it may look like that to other people because you're not leading with emotion, you're leading kind of more analytically. So
Yeah. But
so the perception of that may look different for some.
yeah. And I get that. And I get that. And I don't, I probably don't communicate that well in all the spaces, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um I probably don't communicate that well in all of the spaces. Like I'm thinking like when I'm at work or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I can be a real tough cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I have to be. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of, and I think I have colleagues who sometimes don't get it, and I'm just like, no, you don't know what I've been through when I've done things differently. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I've
You're right.
been on the other side. I know, right? So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, and sometimes I have to come down and be like, hey, we're all on the same team. You know what I mean? We all want the same things. We all have the same goals. Now here is my job, right? And here's what
Right.
I need from you so that I can do my job well.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but we're all on the same team,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one example. But yeah, I probably don't communicate that well. And it probably does seem like I'm cold, but there's a method to my madness. And in that same respect, I have to acknowledge that other people have their own stuff too. So when we butt
Yeah.
heads, it's just like I gotta be like, okay, fine. Maybe there's something you got in there. Maybe you're onto something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Um, what would you say that you're the most proud and or grateful for?
Definitely the relationships I've built.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely the relationships I've built. Definitely um being able to enjoy my friendships.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk enough about how important it is for women to be friends with women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we talk about it enough. And I think that my girl friendships, like my girlfriends are so important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um and those are the friendships that carry me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the
Mm-hmm.
friendships that carry me from good season to good season. Those are the ones,
Yeah.
those are the girls that I celebrate with. Those are, and they're having all the babies, that too. So,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not doing it. I decided I'm not gonna do it. That's an agreement I have checked off my list. I'm good. Good. I am good for more than procreation. Okay. But yeah, I think I'm really, really proud of being able to have built this community for
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um and this life, I take pretty damn good care of myself. Even when I don't know how, I think I'm pretty good about figuring out how, even as
Are
it
we
shifts and
yeah.
changes. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that takes courage. Like
It does.
a lot of
Yeah.
people would rather stay where they are than find out something new about themselves that they didn't know, or
Mm-hmm.
explore ways to do things different. Again, when we talk about familiarity and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and I'm pretty open-minded. I kind of just I want to create the life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily want to just follow the path. I want to create the path. And I
Yeah.
think that makes all the difference, and that makes things really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, what do you do to assist you with challenges that may show up for you?
Say that again.
I said, what do you do to assist you when you are having a moment or a challenge comes up? Are you, like those moments where you may not have hit a wall, but it's like, ah, ooh, there's something new to learn, like what do you do to assist you during those times?
Um, I think definitely I definitely go back to like the tools that I've learned in therapy,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like self-awareness and like checking in,
Mm-hmm.
um, being able to recognize, like identify like what the issue is really important to me. It usually is really important to me to just identify like what are the things that are troubling me in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I'm finding lately is that what to do next is more important than the how I got here, you
Okay.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't dwell on all of the
Yeah.
like all of the triggers or all of the reasons or like and just kind of having the perspective like, okay, I live a pretty happy life. I live a pretty good life. Like I'm
Uh-huh.
most of the time I'm coasting up here. Like if I have a couple down days or a couple down weeks, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
negate, you know what I mean? Like it's a balance. It's not always gonna be great. So yeah, normally, yeah, definitely I'll fall back on all of the strategies and tools that I've learned
Mm-hmm.
over the years in therapy and, just on my own like personal development journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, identifying, yeah, like what is missing and then how I'm gonna get there. And definitely my tribe. Like a lot of times I can spend so much time like
Mm-hmm.
spiraling in my own head and I
Mm-hmm.
it used to be like my first instinct to isolate, and I
Mm-hmm.
think now more recently I've learned to not to resist the urge to isolate and really just get
Just
out and
hey.
just
Yeah.
yes and just
Mm-hmm.
like have conversations, especially with the people who know me best, because at this stage, at this point in the game, they've seen me through all of this stuff. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's like sometimes they know what's going on even when I don't, which is
Right.
nice.
It's just like I don't have to
Girl,
do as
two,
much
three
work.
heads are better than one. I'm telling you, because I don't always got it. I don't always got it together. So yeah, I think definitely I always feel the urge to isolate. But
Mm-hmm.
but over the years I've learned more to really like just trust like
Mm-hmm.
trust in my friendships and lean on them, right, the way I
Mm-hmm.
always create a safe space for them to lean on me.
Right.
um and that's important too, to actually utilize the
Mm-hmm.
spaces, like utilize the friendships and the relationships, like actually don't just give, like
Yeah.
don't just
Yeah.
pour, but sometimes we have to
Yeah.
receive, and that's a part of the give and take that is friendship anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So has it always been easy for you to receive?
No, it's still not easy for me to receive all the time.
Okay.
Like, no, not at all. Um, I think I'm just for most of my life I've been in active. I mean, I am an active service girly. I am like a
Mm-hmm.
natural nurturer. Like that's not what I do, it's who I am. I've always been like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it has taken me a long time to recognize that I should receive, but I still don't. And I can receive when it's
Mm-hmm.
given freely, but I still don't ask.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't often put myself in position to receive.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, but I think I'm finally like recognizing how it can almost taint a relationship when you don't allow it to go freely both ways.
Right.
And so I don't want to be the one doing damage to the relationships just by not allowing
Right.
space to
For
receive, right? Space for the other person to give as freely
right.
as I give.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that I'm learning. I don't know how well I'm doing. And I'm not always like cognizant of
Fully
it. It's
aware.
not something
Yeah.
that, yeah, it's not something
I
that I
think that
always
get
have
easier
visibility
though.
over.
I think as you are aware, that you'll be able to become more aware. And I think that as
Yeah.
you allow, because there is the thing, Like, I think we started off talking about give, 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 like how we're kind of taught to give and give, give, give.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a lot of programming that as well about, like the first thing what I keep hearing in my head, oh, God loves a joyous giver or so
Yes.
whatever.
Yep.
You know, not that you're going to receive, but you're just supposed to always be happy to give. And
Yeah.
so I think that that's programmed for a lot of people. I know it definitely
Mm-hmm.
was for me too. Even
Hmm.
I'm acts of service as well, along with, but I
Yeah.
think because that's been so like, oh, you're supposed to, you're supposed to, that it didn't allow for the space to feel comfortable. Like you almost feel like something is wrong if you're not, or allow
Yes.
someone else to do that, to
Correct.
be equally as. Um, and
Correct.
it is a different, kind of space when it's like, oh shit, other people are good at that too. Huh.
Yes. Yes.
This is
And
kind of
and then
cool.
and then
Yeah.
also, like, like how do I feel when people reject my
Yeah.
gift? You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And so it's
Yeah.
like just being aware that like I could be doing more harm than good
And
by
it's messing up the flow. You
it's
can't
messing up
just
the
have,
flow.
yeah, it is like
No.
totally messing up the
And
flow.
it's like God does love a joyful giver. But
Yeah.
but but what do you get for all of that giving? You know what I mean? Like at
Yeah.
some point it should come back to you, and
Right.
we talk about karma, we think about like we think about
Yeah.
what goes around comes around, and all of those things, but it's like, okay, so all of the giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, at
Gets to
what
come
point
back.
do we let it come back?
Well, it's supposed to come down, pressed down, and overflowing, right? Like, and so we get to, enjoy the pressed down and overflowing.
Well,
Hmm. Yeah, what you say? No
well,
complaints there.
well, because but it's just like, yeah. So but I think it's, yeah, it's definitely been a practice of
Hmm.
receiving, and a
Hmm.
practice of being open to
Hmm.
receive.
Hmm.
And then we get into the conversation of like love languages and like all of that, which is different
Right.
because receiving looks different for different people, and all of
Exactly.
that thing, and that
Yeah.
I think comes with the intimacy of knowing your friends well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Knowing your
Right.
family well, like being, well versed in the love
Hmm.
languages in both directions, right? And
Right.
that's a
Right.
whole other thing,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of times is really hard for us too, because
Hmm.
do unto others as you would have done unto you, and like all of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
things that are all, but like reciprocity can look so different. It's more
Right.
than just, you know what
Mhm.
I mean? It doesn't
The
have to
small space
be.
that we put it in.
Yes, it's not. It doesn't
Hmm.
have to be a tit for tat. When we
Hmm.
think reciprocity, it doesn't have to be identical. That's not.
Right.
That's
Hmm.
not necessarily what it has to look like.
Hmm.
And so you get to explore that in each of your individual relationships. You get to explore
Right.
what reciprocity means, what that looks
Hmm.
like, right?
Hmm.
But that takes a lot of emotional intelligence, and I don't know
Hmm.
why we're not having those conversations either. I
Hmm.
think, like we're not doing enough, I think, as a society to foster emotional
Those
intelligence.
types. Right.
We talk about it, we know when it's not there, but we don't
Right.
do enough collectively to foster emotional intelligence.
Hmm.
That's another thing I'll help pass on to the babies.
I mean, and I think too, the beautiful thing to me about like why I enjoy doing the conversations is because I continue to learn more or get a different perspective every time I talk to someone different because, hey, we all got this little different, unique way that we may view the same topic that it's like,
Yep.
oh, I never really thought about it like that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, da 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 da. Agree or don't agree.
Yep.
It's still very like, there's a different thought that I may not have come to on my own. And I just think that there's beauty in everybody's perspective.
There is.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's what we talked about. Conversational ministry. It's something, you know what I mean? Like just having the conversation. It's like sometimes you end up dropping all these gems, and you come back and
hmm
look back and you're like, who did that? Like, we were just talking.
right,
We were just
right. And it's like,
talking.
oh, I needed to
Yeah.
hear that, because you
Yeah.
just never know. Yeah, you never know.
Yep.
So
That's true.
um yeah, so is there anything that you would like to say as closing words or anything that you would like to promote or because we have come to the last question and that was it. And
That was
so,
it.
like, yeah, that was it. I, try to keep it to an hour. We're a little bit over, but
We're a little bit
not
over.
bad. Yeah, who cares? I think it's still good. It was good stuff. It's been
It was
fun.
good stuff. This was so good. I just want to thank you for having me on. This was a blast.
Yay.
This was a blast, and I know we have chats, but to be able to share one with the
Uh-huh.
people is nice.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I love what you're doing. Definitely
Thank
going to
you.
tune in. I don't know how I didn't know about this before, but I'm definitely going to be tuned in.
Okay.
The
We have
only
a
thing I
comment that
have to say again.
said good chat ladies. Xavier Black said good chat ladies.
Oh,
Are you
thank
able to see the
you.
messages?
No, I can't see them.
Okay, so I don't know how that works
No.
then.
Oh
Maybe I
wait,
could play
maybe there's
around
a
it and
button. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Okay, we'll
Look,
figure
now I
it out.
done pushed the button. I can't see you no more. It's okay. It's fine.
Still see you, thank goodness. Yay.
Okay, good. Okay, fine. So okay, I figured it out. But yeah, the only thing that I would encourage folks to check out, I mean not promote, but Black
Yeah.
United and Proud of Our Heritage. Shout out to the Buff program. It's a nonprofit that I work with back in Brooklyn, New York, my
Mm-hmm.
hometown, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely would encourage people to check out. I'm pretty sure it's thebuffprogram.com.
Okay.
Simon's gonna kill me if it's not. But in any case, that is really, really cool. I got to edit the magazine. We have like this really cool little kids magazine that we have.
Oh, nice.
And just yeah, it's all about like promoting like Black pride and teaching Black history to like
Mm-hmm.
the community youth. And we're like in East New York, in Brooklyn, but of course, we're spreading and doing that. Now I'm in Charlotte, so it's different, but the magazine gets to be how I kind of get to contribute to that still. So
Nice.
it's close to my heart. So check out the website. And
Okay, and what's the website? Because I'm gonna put it in a comment when we finish.
okay, perfect. I'm pretty sure it's thebuffprogram.com. And I
So
will
BUFF.
BUPH, the buff BUPH, yeah, program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we're
cool.
getting our website together. I think the website's already up, and
Mm-hmm.
we probably will be making the magazine available on the website. So that will be cool.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I had a few copies. I owe you a copy actually.
That would be nice. That would be
I was
nice.
like, you know.
So cool. Yay. Well, thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me. This really has been so much fun.
Yay. And we'll see how it works. I know it's going to be on my page under the live. So I don't know if you
Okay.
can share it or whether it'll automatically send you a link. So,
Okay.
because I did put that you could share it however you wanted to, I
Okay.
think. Yeah. So, I'm still learning this particular, how to use this, but here we
We'll
are.
learn
So,
it together.
right. All right. Awesome. So thank you, Bonjour,
Yes.
Black, and thank you, Miss AnnMarie Bemberry. Yeah. All right. Have a good
This is
night.
awesome. Have a great night.
All right.
All
Peace.
right. Bye.